What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Making Podcasts Great Again. I am your tech stuff guy, Jay Nog, and we are here, of course, with the President of the United States of Mar-a-Lago of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, how are you today?
Hold on, tech stuff. We're sending out one more truth. And it says, anybody who supports Ron DeSantis, suck my truth. Truth. Okay. We sent a truth very powerfully.
Truth, truth.
Well, you don't tweet on Truth Social, you truth.
I got you.
Well, I don't know, because I've heard you can't handle the truth. So,
I'm still not approved yet on True Social.
you may not, we'll be honest, you may never get approved. You may never get approved because they don't like some of the board of directors at Truth Social. They heard, it might not have been you, it might have been another of the tech stuff agency, did a secret episode with Ron DeSantis, which is really almost unforgivable. But I'm not accusing you. I don't think I've ever met you before, but we're going to talk very strongly with the tech agency. But did you ask how I'm doing?
I did.
Well, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. The country's not doing okay. I think we know that. The country's in a horrible spot with their president being attacked and persecuted by prosecutors, bars. So we'll see. But we're strong. We're stronger than the Democrats. You know that. So obviously we're tough. But it's not, it could be more pleasant. Right now it's pretty unpleasant. But I'm strong. And I ate a fish fillet sandwich from McDonald's.
There you go.
And April 2nd, second of the month is I joke with Myanmar, my soon-to-be ex-wife. I say, oh, it's, at that time it's in our contract. So after I eat a fish fillet, she eats several oxys and just sort of zones out. And we have a monthly Pound Town session. And the stress, though, this is a family podcast, so I use nice words. I busted a nut 20 seconds in, and that showed you I was stressed because usually it's like 30, 40 seconds, but
Right.
this was there's a little bit of stress, to be honest. Nothing I can't handle, obviously, but it'd be nice if there wasn't all the stress.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. Any April Fool's jokes? I know you have a great sense of humor. Do you play any April Fool's jokes?
I did. I've had a very good one. I I actually had lunch with Lauren Boebert, and I stole her birth control pills from her bag. So, that's one way to get a fourth Mrs. Trump, or a ninth, or as I like to say, a ninth non-Trump baby.
President, I wanted to let you know my family is in Idaho right now, visiting one of your great colleges.
Oh, good. Well, no, I think obviously you want to get started early because it's so competitive that if you can build that relationship with Idaho Militia Christian Bible Tech State College, and by the way, just don't let them know that you're a part of the tribe, correct?
Yes,
I would say leave that part out when you're at
I
Idaho
will.
Militia Christian Bible Tech State College, because the Bible is more well, technically they love the Old Testament. They just don't like the Jewish part.
Okay.
They like the stories and the violence and the rape and the slavery. But when they get to the Jewish part, it's sort of a turnoff at Idaho Militia Christian Bible Tech State College. So I'd emphasize less of that, less of that. But and how old is your son, the
Uh,
one that's visiting?
he's in kindergarten. He's 6 years old.
Okay, so what kind of gun did he bring with him? Yeah, they like to do a show and tell. You got to bring a real gun.
I'm not sure he brought one.
Okay, well, I'm telling you, as everybody thinks I'm mean. Okay, tech stuff. This is called nice. I'm giving you the inside scoop, because there's somebody who knows the school very well. They're going to expect him how old is he? 5?
He'll be 6 very soon. Yes, he is.
6.
Yeah.
Well, the 15 and AR-15, the 1 and the 5 add up to 6. So they have a rule which is under 6, you don't have to bring an AR-15, but once you hit 6, so if he's still 5 when he visits, he can actually get away with just sort of like a Glock or a revolver or something like that, sort of kids' guns. But but I'm telling you, once he turns 6, they expect an assault rifle or better, bazooka, something like that. So no, but it's good. They're a good. It's a great school. Um, and if he's interested in what are the top majors there? I know the sports team is cornhole, so maybe he can, if he's good at cornhole, he could probably get a locked in for a scholarship now. And they do NIL deals. They do name, image, likeness deals. Um, with My Pillow has a very strong NIL deal there. So if he's interested, I can make the connection there. And also, uh, they do. This might be not something your son's interested, but in they do. What's it called? What's it called? Oh, it's when they do NIL deals in terms of there's an organization that fights against gender affirming care. That's what the left calls it. I call it snipping, ripping your genitals off. And there's a group, and he'd be the perfect age. Imagine your son, 5 years old or even 6, if they'd give him a very nice deal. He just has to go on social media and scream, "I'm a boy," and wave his wiener around and say, "I'm a boy," and this is brought to you by No More Ripping Off of Wieners.com. But they pay very well. I'm told they pay very well. So that's how you know it's a good school, because their cornhole team has numerous name, image, and likeness deals, including obviously with our friend Mike Lindell of My Pillow.
Amazing. Mr. President, I wanted to ask you about your supposed to be fingerprinted and arraigned on Tuesday in New York City.
It's a rain and Trump. Hallelujah, a rain and Trump. Yeah, yeah. We got fingerprints and mug shots, and I'm gonna attack the cops. It's a rain and Trump.
That was beautiful, Mr. President.
Oh, thank you. It's cold bars. It's cold, strong bars.
Well, you know that Marjorie Taylor Greene announced that she will be flying in for this arraignment.
Well, of course she
Special
will
trip
be.
for
She's
you.
she's a strong supporter, and for everybody I know that's been in the gym with her, she's got big dick energy.
Are you upset that Carrie Lake, Ivanka, no one else is coming to support?
Okay, you keep Carrie Lake. I don't need to get all Black Will Smith on you, but you keep Carrie Lake Smith name out of your mouth.
My apologies.
She has a plan. She has a plan. She's actually offered to suicide bomb the arraignment. And I said, "No, Carrie Lake, we need your pretty legs and your sexy short haircut for potential, you know, campaign sex." But Ivanka is going. Ivanka, it's almost like when I gave BB. Remember last we gave BB his tough. He earned his toughness back.
Yeah.
It's almost like Ivanka. She's always going to be sexy and hot and a total smoke show in a fatherly way. I say that, but it's almost like she's losing her own toughness. I am concerned about Ivanka. Um, Not concerned about Carrie Lake though.
Bobert?
Am I concerned about
I'm
Lauren?
saying,
I
is
just
she coming to New York to represent?
no, she's not, because I still have birth control, so we've got more important things to do. Me and
Gotcha.
Bobert. I call it Plan B, which is Bobert having a Trump baby bars.
Wanted to ask you, Mr. President, after you were indicted, you sent 3 emails within 2 hours to donors and supporters for campaign contributions. But people are saying in these emails There are conspiracy theories about taking down the deep state and having anti-Semitic rhetoric in these emails. Would you like to elaborate on these emails, the time they were sent out in, and the content?
Oh, very strong on content or on all the platforms. And there's no anti-Semitism. We're very pro-Semitism. Okay, we're also pro-pet cemetery, which is also something very important to me. So we're pro-cemetery, we're pro-pet cemetery, we're pro-Semitism, we're all the pros. No anti-Semitism, no anti-cemetery. Uh, we believe in, we're very pro, we're very pro. And anybody who says it's anti-Semitism is really trying to divide us because they know I did so strong for Jewish people in Israel. So they want to attack me where I'm strong. And they know nobody's stronger on Jews than me. Maybe Goldberg. Remember Goldberg from the wrestling? That
Yes.
might be the strongest of the Jews, but in terms of Jewish help, Jewish assistance, they call me a Jewish assisting prince. That's what they call me because I'm so helpful to the Jewish people. They say, "You're a Jap, sir." And I say, "Well, thank you. I try to help. I try to help. We do strong help." And if they're saying these things about me, it's because they want to divide. They want to hit me where I'm strongest. So, no, we're doing great things for Jewish people, great things. And I do fundraise. We have to fundraise because they're trying, if they want to fight me and take me out of the electoral process in a rude, nasty way, in a fake way, well, then I'm going to fight with all the tools I can. And that means hyping it up.
Now, do you think that could be looked at as weak when you're
Tiffany
being
is not like that. Excuse me. I think Tiffany is fucking our Secret Service agent. Hold on. This is very, very powerful. Wow. Okay. Tiffany is going to town on the Secret Service agent. Very impressive.
now you being indicted. You don't think it looks weak where
Excuse me. I think Tiffany just came. I'm sorry. I don't mean, I know it's a family podcast, but it's very intense, high level of intensity right now.
does it look like you're scrambling for more money last minute? It's an intense session over there. Does it look like you're scrambling and trying to money grab when your back's against the wall instead of being strong and going the offensive? Can it be
I'm not
looked at
money
as
grabbing. That's what the Jews do. That's what I said in my newsletter.
weak? So you don't think this could be looked at as weak, Mr. President?
Hold on for 1 second. I think I need to make sure Tiffany's Nuva ring is in.
Okay. 1 second, Mr. President.
Be
That's
back in
no
1 second.
problem here.
Just talk to the people for a
I'm
second.
going to talk to the people, and I don't know if he's trying to skirt this question because if I got in trouble and then I started asking people for money, it doesn't look very strong. It looks sort of weak if you're asking for donations after you're in trouble. The strong thing would be to just stand strong and not ask for any donations and have people wanting to give you money because they see that you are being falsely prosecuted. That would be the strong thing to do. So let's see what the president says here. He is really, really scolding Tiffany here.
Well, it seems like I might be a grandfather.
Okay, congratulations. So what I was saying, Mr. President, you don't think it's weak that when you get in trouble, you automatically just start asking for donations multiple times in 2 hours. Wouldn't the strong thing be to just stand strong and wait for people to help you because you're being falsely prosecuted?
Now, here's the thing, Dexter, that you don't understand because you're not a billionaire and you're not a president.
No.
You fight with, I don't believe in this sort of, fight fair. We operate by the proper rules and very good sportsmanship. No, I'm going to use every tool I can to destroy you. So if getting money, however I have to get it, I'll get it. Remember, like Big. Remember Big? He said, "Get money." Oh, good.
Biggie?
Pizza.
You talking Biggie?
We call him Notorious Big.
Okay.
This pizza, it's a little limp. I don't like that. I like my pizza the way Mike Pence likes his men, firm and in his mouth.
Now, Mr. President, before we get back to, I have a bunch of topics to cover. Before we cover those, I want to talk about our great new sponsor, and that is FanDuel. Massachusetts, listen up. The wait is finally over. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is now live in Massachusetts. And new customers in Massachusetts can get in on the action with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up at fanduel.com/Boston. Finally, you can bet on all your favorite sports, from the money line to point spreads to player props and more. Mr. President, who are you taking? San Diego State versus UConn. I had money on FAU, and then that buzzer beater just killed me. So
Classic tech stuff. Classic tech stuff.
yes,
Now, here's what I
it.
did. I've already used up my bonus. I actually flew my private jet into Massachusetts so I could get the bonus. And so I've used that up already. But I like I said before, they call it an interface. You know, when you like get on the FanDuel app.
Yes,
I kind of like the look. I like the look of it over other places.
very user friendly.
So what I did was, and as you know, they just did the women's basketball final.
Mm-hmm.
Did the women's basketball, and there was this wonderful white, we call her WW, wonderful white named Caitlin Cook, and she was destroying everybody. She was beating blacks like she was a member of a police department, and then I said, wait a second, this isn't Trump's America. This is Sleepy Joe's America. They can't have a strong white person with Iowa win. So I bet a very heavy bet on LSU with their very flashy white coach and their very tall black women. And guess what happened? Guess what happened, Tech Stuff?
You won.
LSU won, and more importantly, I won. So thank you, FanDuel, and most importantly, thank you, Sleepy Joe, for always creating a racist environment where white people can't win the championship.
So bet now on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Don't miss your chance to get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. Visit fanduel.com/Boston. Make every moment more on America's #1 sports book. 21 over, present in Massachusetts. First online and real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Hope is here. Gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support. Now back to the show. Mr. President, I wanted to ask you, Republicans are coming out a little scared that you're getting in trouble and being arraigned. They think that you are going to ramp up your political campaign and go into hyperdrive and go at a rapid rate. What is your feedback on this? Are you going to lay low for a little bit or go into hyperdrive and really push it?
All Tech Stuff. Very good pizza, by the way. What I'm going to say to you right now, I'm always in hyper. This idea of like lay low, nobody wants their president to lay low. That's why Sleepy Joe did so horribly during the campaign, because he was hiding in a basement. And everybody thought that was pathetic, which is another reason why he clearly didn't win. But now we're going to go into hyperdrive. Okay? Hyperspeed, hype beast, hyper supersonic, campaign mode Trump. So when I get arraigned, I'm actually going to do like instead of a gender reveal party, is going to be a big explosion and a bunch of Trump 2024 merch will explode during my arraignment. And well, apparently Tiffany's fucking again. The point is, we have a plan, and the plan is to win. And anybody who's too scared and says, "Oh, I wish Trump would lay low," I say this with all Christian respect, they can go fuck themselves.
Mr. President, also, you did say in the news that you are going to escalate the attacks against Alvin Bragg. That sounds like something the Joker would say. Can you elaborate on that? What sort of attacks? Are you talking about peaceful protest attacks? Are you talking about verbal attacks online on Twitter, on True Social? Can you please be more specific on this?
Well, my friends, elevator operators for Trump, which is a very strong group that supports me. They're currently working on both his home and office elevators. So peaceful wire cutting, peaceful technical malfunctions. Auto mechanics for Trump are currently working on his brakes on his car peacefully. And short order cooks for Trump are working on peaceful poison for his food.
So everything is very peaceful, is what you're getting at.
We believe in strong peace. Like this piece of pizza is very tasty.
President, I wanted to ask you. We have a lot of questions before we get to the questions. I want to ask you about your judge who was appointed for this upcoming case, and that is Juan Merchan or Merchan. You did say that he hates me. That's what you said. You think he was appointed by
Well, they
Alvin
left out
Bragg?
the rest of my quote.
What is the next rest of it?
He hates me because he ain't me.
That was edited out. That's messed up. They edited that last part out.
Well, that's what the fake news does. That's what they do.
Now, who is this Juan Merchant? What do you know of him?
Well, I think he's related to Jackie Chan, who's a very violent, not peaceful. He's not. You've seen how much violence he does. He's a judge who's had it in for me for very long. I think he's jealous of my beautiful women and my strong wealth. So he's like so upset that he's like in some court making like government wages. So I'm like his biggest enemy, and I don't even know that. I don't know the guy. I don't even think about him, but he hates me, and that's why the prosecutor with a hard R, wanted him. That's why he wanted him, because he knew he hated me.
Well, hopefully, you guys can bury the hatchet and maybe talk a little bit for this case. And
You see how dark it is in my office right now?
I
My
do. It
Mar-a-Lago
looks
office.
very ominous. It looks like
Well, it's because there's a set. You never know at the left. They could be outside my windows looking to assassinate a strong president.
Now, Mr. President, before we get to listener questions, I want to talk about another great sponsor of ours, and that is Rocket Money. Are you wasting money on subscriptions? 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about. Maybe for you, it's an unused Amazon Prime account or a Hulu account that never gets streamed. There's this great app I use that helps me track all of my expenses. And because of it, I no longer waste money on subscriptions I don't even use. It's awesome. You might have heard of it. It's called Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. Do you know how much you spend on subscriptions every single month? Most Americans think they spend around $80 a month on subscriptions when really it's closer to $200 or more. That's right. You could be wasting hundreds of dollars each month on subscriptions you don't even use or know about. And there's this app I love using that takes care of it for me. It's called Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. I'm a user. This app shows all your subscriptions in one place and then cancels for you whatever you don't still want. I mean, Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you don't even know you were paying for. You may even find out you've been double charged for a subscription. To cancel, all you have to do is just press cancel. You don't have to send an email, call, wait on holds, call another time. Rocket Money takes care of the rest. It's so easy. All you have to do is just press cancel, and Rocket Money cancels the subscription for you. To get rid of useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now, go to rocketmoney.com/MPGA. Seriously, it could save you hundreds per year. Save me hundreds. That's rocketmoney.com/MPGA. Cancel your unnecessary subscriptions right now at rocketmoney.com/MPGA. Also, if you missed our last live ep from this past month, you missed a great episode. It was a night that the President Trump got indicted, and you missed an awesome, awesome episode. Go to the Patreon, patreon.com/MPGA. Over hundreds of bonus hours from Rage and Brett Kavanaugh's old show to movie reviews to special guests, Fred Trump traditions. So many hours. Check it out. Patreon.com/MPGA. Prices start at $5 per month for the bonus episode and access to hundreds of hours, to $10 a month, which you get access to the live episode and the Q&A with the president every single month. Patreon.com/MPGA. President, lots of great questions, and we are going to go right to Facebook right now. And this question comes from of course, our Patreon president, Alex's iPhone. Dr. Mr. President, Reverend Shaman Esquire, sir, have you received any messages of special support from Maleficent's kid, Barton, following your indictment? And how has his crate training prepared him for this new reality?
Well, Barton, he's a growing boy. He drinks a lot of milk, that kid. And I think Mike Pence might have slipped in a jar of semen also into his milk bottle. But he's a very big boy. Melanoma is very proud. At least I think she is. I don't really speak the same language as her. But this kid is sweet. I have to admit, he's a sweet kid. Because he came up to me. I'm going to do the, I do strong impressions, so I was going to do an impression. But he came up to me and said, he has this weird nickname in Transylvanian, Papa. I don't know what that translates to, but I think it's like powerful. I think it means powerful man in his language. But he says to me, Papa, if you want to prepare for prison, you can use my crate to work on your living skills in prison-like setting. And I said, that's very nice. That's very nice, but don't worry, Beetlejuice. I'm not going to prison, but thank you for it was a nice, they say it's the thought that counts. Poor people say it's the thought that counts, but sometimes the thought counts a little bit. I'll admit that. And I thought this thought counted a little bit. And I said, I made a promise to him, and I said, since your dad isn't around, I will take you when you turn 18 to your first escort. That's something, he doesn't have a father around to help him with that. So I said, I'll take you to your first escort. So to answer President iPhone's question, it was a very nice offer of help. He was offering help. He needs to know that I'm not going to jail. We're not doing that. But he doesn't know. He's only 8 or 19. I don't know how old he is. But he did the best he can. I think he might be slow, but with nice. He's nice and slow. Just like I like to torture my escorts, nice and slow.
Next Facebook question comes from Nick Wilson. Your Highness, sir, and Doctor of Medicine, Law, and Philosophy, sir, did you give Macon Tyler Green any advice for her interview on 60 Minutes tonight? I'm expecting a real-life scenario of the movie Money Monster, but was just wondering what you may have said to him, her. Thank you, Mr. President of all presidents, sir.
Well, I don't know what the hell Money Monster is. Maybe that's a movie they show in Pittsburgh. But I will say this. I spoke to Malcolm Jamal Warner Green right before and I said, here's what you do. You're one of the toughest we have. They're not ready for you. They're not ready to go toe to toe with you. I've seen your toes. Nobody wants to go toe to toe with that four-pronged toe monster. And I said, here's what you do. When you get on the set, you whip out your dick and say, who wants some? And yet they'll be so weak. They'll be so weak when you do that. So um Anthony Michael Hall is one of our great Republicans, and I think she's really gonna kick their ass in 60 minutes. I look forward to watching it when we're done recording.
Uh, Next comes from our friend from Down Under, Michael Craig. Good day from Down Under, Dr. President, sir. How does it feel that you will be arraigned in the same courthouse as Central Park 5, who were later exonerated, even though you took out ads in 4 papers to reinstate the death penalty for them and refused to apologize?
I think they used Fauci science to acquit those rapists. They used Fauci science, which, as you know, is not real science. It's political science. And it's practically witchcraft, in fact. So I still believe they're guilty. I don't believe the DNA tests or the confessions from other people. They're guilty, and they're walking the street with money, probably buying rims and sneakers, and it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. So, no, I think I've never apologized. I think it makes sense that, notice I never got arrested in the 80s when they were arrested. But now we have a kangaroo court that frees them using something called DNA evidence and other fake things like confessions of other people. So they let them go based on flimsy things like DNA and confessions. And so it makes sense that I would be arrested because the court has no power anymore. It makes no sense. New York City's a hellhole. Alvin Bragg is a obese black son of a bitch. And our country is lost. So no, I don't feel anything. I feel like it makes sense that the same court that let them go is accusing me of a crime because we've lost all justice.
We got some Twitter question, Mr. President. This comes from @ET Compty. Sir, do you feel Canada is a threat to the United States? Thank you, sir.
I think they're a threat in a different way than Mexico is. Mexico is obviously a rape and murder threat.
Yes.
Canada, it's a psychological threat because everybody pretends like they're nice. Yes, Canada is so nice. You know how nice they are? You can tax us 90%, eh? Feel free. Take all my money, eh? That's why they get taxed like crazy. That's why every time you look at a book, I don't read books, but you look on the book and it's like $20 in US, $25 in Canada. Because Canada is just willing to hand over more money because they're weak. They became so weak. And that as much as I don't like Mexicans coming in and doing rape, Canadians are trying to rape our brains by making us, taxes are fine. Give everything to the government and then say, thank you, eh? We're very nice because we're pushovers. People confuse Canada as nice when it's really that they're radical left pushovers. And that's not nice. That's called weak.
Well said, Mr. President. This next Twitter question comes from @TC_Libby. Your Honor, I know you would never need to take steroids, but what are your thoughts on all these aging celebrities getting on HRT and suddenly becoming super shredded and veiny when they are 60 plus years old? It's sad to me that so many are taking a shortcut to get a Trump physique.
That was a great question. And I can tell you, one of my favorite things about TC Libby, who's a strong Patreon patriot as well. Now he gave himself the name TC Libby, liberal, to throw you off. When you see this guy in person, he's got a big beard. He's a tough son of a bitch. He rides motorcycles. This is a tough guy. This is a Midwesterner. you know. So I like the fact that he's already kind of tricking people into, oh, Libby, liberal. No, no, no. That's to suck you in so he can destroy you with his powerful beard. What I will say, what I will say is it's sad to see, it first happened in sports. Remember in sports, we had honest, powerful athletes like Mark McGuire. Remember Mark McGuire? He did it the
Sammy
right way.
Sosa. Yep, I
No,
remember
no, no,
those
no,
guys.
excuse me. No, not Sammy. I didn't say Sammy Sosa.
Okay.
I said guys who did it the right way, honestly,
Okay.
like Mark McGuire, Jason
Gotcha.
Giambi, Roger
Yes.
Clemens. And then all of a sudden, and we can't say it because it's racist, all of a sudden, Sammy Sosa starts getting a lot of home runs. Not the honest way. Baron Bonds. Okay, I don't know if he's the father of Melanoma son. Baron Bonds starts hitting more home runs than even the great Babe Ruth. And I think that the country, especially the woke left, they were like, oh, well, the blacks can do it. We'll let them get away with cheating. And now it's affecting celebrities, and they think it's okay to take all these drugs and prescriptions. And it's very simple. If you want to do things the right way, look up to people like Mark McGuire, people like me, who do things the right, honest way. And I golf. I'm sort of blessed, to be honest. Some of this is just natural. I can't make everybody a super strong, masculine person, but we can try. And it includes a steady diet of McDonald's, Diet Coke to keep those calories off, and powerful golf, powerful pointing, powerful yelling to keep the lungs strong. So you can do it naturally, but it seems like the left, between the celebrities and their black athletes, want to do it the fake way. And it's sad. I agree. TC Libby. It's very sad.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last question on Twitter comes from Pacifica Pan. Sir, Mr. Innocent, Mr. Palm Sunday, who will melatonin select to raise her son Baron should you be required to stay in a New York government studio for a few years? Would it be Michael Cohen, Roger Stone, or Steve Bannon? Baron needs a father figure in his life, just in case. Who would it be out of those three?
That's a great question. Well, I don't know if I want to choose from those three.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
those are good individuals, but in terms of fathering,
Mhm.
you need I want a strong man, physically and sort of emotionally. And I honestly think there's no man I'd rather have helping melanoma with her son than I would say Margarine Timothy Green.
Good call.
I see Steve Bannon and Roger Stone as more like uncles,
Right. Funkles.
But when you, well, no,
Okay.
I wouldn't say that. But I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, that's a strong male role model for a tall young melatonin boy, son.
We have 3 more
Person.
questions from the gram, Mr. President, and then I know you're very busy.
We call it Instagram here. That's radical left
Okay.
blacks call it the gram.
Instagram here, and this is from it's JM David. Sir, we've heard a rumor that Mar-a-Lago was closed off this weekend. Does that mean you don't plan on surrendering Tuesday and are fortifying the place for a final stand versus the federal government, like what happened at Waco or Ruby Ridge?
No, actually, that's a good question, but we're not running. That's the thing. We want to expose what a joke this is. If I don't go, I don't have to go, by the way. I don't have to go. But if I don't go, then you leave an opening for the radical left to say, oh, look, he's ignoring our laws, even though these are not legitimate. I don't want to give them that in. No, so the reason we're barricading Mar-a-Lago is because Roger Stone's wife is throwing a sort of pre-arraignment party. So we're going to have beautiful young women. We're going to have many, many strong young Florida men, and Roger Stone's wife. It's called. She calls this. It's maybe a new tradition because I get accused of saying She's calling it the 2023 Justice Bowl, like instead of justice. And so, she's just gonna, sort of send me off to New York with a wonderful Christian party.
That sounds fantastic. Our next question comes in from at Frosty Junction. What is the schedule for conjugal visits? Asking for a friend. ...
That's a good question, and we don't know yet if they have the audacity to throw me in jail. I would say it would probably be some sort of situation like a home confinement. I think you can't throw a president in jail, but if they throw me in jail, uh, we'd have daily conjugal visits with Bobert, with melanoma until we get divorced. I think because I'm a president, they'd probably let me have conjugal threesomes.
Okay.
And then we would videotape it and sell it at the commissary to all the prisoners.
It's a genius decision, Mr. President. Our last question comes from Mark_Allen6. Convict 27654-5678. Very rude greeting, but I've always
No,
heard
it's rude because it's inaccurate. I've already requested to be known as a convict 6'9".
You want me to change it? The question.
No, you can. We don't cancel culture.
Okay.
You can say what he said,
Okay.
even though it's wrong.
I've always heard that when you go inside, you have to establish yourself quickly. Do you plan on assaulting anybody the first day? And if so, will race play a role in your decision?
No, race won't play a role. They say hit the biggest person you can find in prison, and I will, regardless of whether they're black, Negro, African American, Afro American, or of a dark complexion.
You'll find.
That's
All right.
what I'll do. Very simple answer, not racial.
Mr. President, I wish you luck on Tuesday, and I'm sure everything will go fine. And we look forward to hearing updates next week. And everyone, check out fanduel.com/Boston, rocketmoney.com/MPGA, and patreon.com/MPGA to join up on the Patreon. Check out my solo show, goodyshow.com. We'll be touring colleges and small theaters this fall. Please check it out, listeners. And if you have a theater in your town, hit me up. I'd love to come through. Goodyshow.com and at JNog on all social media. Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, everybody. Hello, everybody. It's JL. It's been me the whole time. Happy April. Thank you to everybody who showed up. There were several Patreon patriots and Mapiga fans who came to the second special taping. So now, and I've already gotten raw footage of the second special. So it really is, I think the impossible is going to happen. My second special really might have the inside track on becoming my first special. So thank you to everybody who came. I hope, obviously, check out my website, jlcomedy.com. There you have links to my other Patreon, my other podcast. And the good news is all my albums are back up streaming. I resubmitted them. This is for anybody who was paying attention on social media, but all my stand-up albums, which were taken down due to a stupid lawsuit from some shady big comedy company. When I withdrew from the lawsuit, they didn't take much care in how they withdrew me. So I lost the licensing to my own self-produced albums. So they disappeared from everywhere. So I resubmitted them through a new service. So all 6 of my stand-up albums are on, Tidal, iTunes, Amazon, etc. Not Spotify, because they don't pay anything, so I don't submit them there. But the point is, if you've ever wanted to listen to my stand-up, or if you wanted to buy some of my stand-up, or if you just want to be nice and give me like a nice review, since they're kind of brand new entries, they're all back up. And needless to say, in the next month or 2 months, I hope to be able to announce one or both of my specials available in video and or album form. So I have a show in Red Bank, New Jersey, April 29th. But other than that, my schedule is basically clear just for podcasts, and more importantly, well, not more importantly, but equally important, getting my my specials ready. So I guess just keep an eye on, keep listening to this podcast, keep following me on my website or other stuff for that, because obviously I'd love a big push from the MPGA group. So to the 13 of you still listening, thank you, and God help us all.